we will show you how to prepare
a jack-o'-lantern.
Okay, so Hubert, what's the first step in carving a jack-o'-lantern?
So, you must find the perfect pumpkin.
Yes, and a good pumpkin will be round and maybe the size of a basketball. That would be a good place to start. You don't want it to be too small, and if it's too big, it's easy to carve, but it becomes very heavy and difficult to move.
What's the second step?
Well, as your second step, assuming that the outside of the pumpkin is clean, then we're going to cut the top of it off and take what we say in English, the guts out. The pumpkin, you might think it's hollow, but it's full of seeds and some other slimy things. And so you'll have to cut the top off and with your hands scoop out the seeds. And it might be nice to have something, a trash bag or something to put the seeds into, because it can be very smelly and very messy. That's our second step. So what we're going to do is I'm going to demonstrate on one pumpkin, and then the boys are going to carve one of the pumpkins and the girls are going to carve the other pumpkins, and we're going to show you how it goes. So to start with, once the pumpkin is clean and you've chosen your pumpkin, you need to get a sharp knife. This knife might be a little too long. Maybe a knife the size that we would cut a tomato with might be ideal. And you need to cut in, don't cut in straight up and down 90 degrees, but cut in at about a 45-degree angle. Be careful not to cut yourself. And make sure you go to something to pull the top off, and you can see inside or seeds and gunk, we'll call it. Unpleasant stuff. And here's what the inside of the pumpkin looks like. So now, the boys are going to take one of the pumpkins and the girls are going to have the other pumpkin, and they're going to cut the top off and clean out the inside. So we're working on step 2. We're going to cut off the top and pull the insides out. And the knife will not go in and cut like scissors. You have to go in and out with kind of a sawing motion or to get it to go through. Okay, so our next step is we need to decide what we're going to carve into the pumpkin. Now some people will carve a scary face, some people will carve a happy face, you can carve a picture of a tree, whatever your skill level is, that's what you can carve. Some people have carved like one letter in each pumpkin and they'll get multiple pumpkins to spell out a word. But for us, we just need to figure out what we want to carve, and then we're going to take a marker and we're going to draw on the pumpkin what we are going to carve.
What are we making?
I want to make a picking pumpkin.
You want to cut this, right?
Yes.
So why are you cutting down here? Cut here.
This part too.
Well, we can cut off more later. We can't add back.
Take off the top, right?
So if we're happy with that, we can. But if you want to cut this, we can.
But be careful,
Okay.
so that you don't have your hand where she's cutting.
Here.
Okay.
Cut right down the middle. Okay, so we finished carving our pumpkins. The boys have carved this, and the girls have carved this one, a pumpkin throwing up. And so the last step is to put a small tea candle light into the pumpkin, and you can put it out on your doorstep or on your patio at night, and people can enjoy it.
The
this is all for today.
And next week we are taking you to our beautiful woman.
See you again next Thursday.
It's so satisfying to stir a pumpkin, and you must try it at home, but beware, it's so dangerous.